my Motorola console. I think it's a 57 or maybe a 59. This is the amplifier out of it. It's been acting up. At some point, it was easier for me just to buy a similar amplifier off of eBay, and I did. And the one that I bought came shipped with this preamplifier. And so what I did was I took the one that I took out. It still works, but as soon as those tubes in the back go bad, I don't know how I'll be able to replace them. So that'll probably be the end of it. But it still makes great music, so I wanted to listen to it. So I thought, well, I'll just hook it up to this preamp and kind of make a stereo out of it. I had this board that I used down in my electronics shop here to work on stuff, but I just commandeered that. I took some of the leftover pieces from the box I built for the picture frames and made a back with some Elmer's glue and some staples, and it sounded pretty good. And then I took the box that this tuner is, the preamplifier came in, and I added some supports in the back here, and then drilled holes and screwed it to the top. Same on this side, and then here as well, and here as well, and then I'm going to screw that down. And then this was the probably a piece that was attached somewhere on the console, so I attached it to the preamp, and that feeds in the tape input and the tuner input. So I left this slot right here in the back so I could push that plug and the RCA audio cables through the slot there in the back. Here's the put together preamp base, I guess you'd call it, but you can see I've got the cables coming out of the back there. Got it secured in pretty good. And actually there's nothing really any dangerous than any tube amplifier you would find. All the dangerous stuff is on the bottom of that chassis, and that's going to be bolted down to the top here. And then everything on that preamp is pretty much sealed in there. So even though it's open, there's wires hanging out. I mean, sure, you could probably hurt yourself with it, but you'd have to, try to. I guess you could stick a fork in the outlet in your house too and hurt yourself. So you'd probably have to try about that hard, really, to do any damage with this guy. But anyhow, I'm going to I'll show you what it looks like with the amp on top. But it's the whole thing. It's kind of cool. Here's with the amplifier on top of the base. It's not bolted down yet, but I'm going to bolt it down so that it stays on there. But here I'm using this Zenith as my tuner, and I have the speakers hooked up to the amplifier here. And then on this side you can see this is the tuner input. This is going over to that Zenith. And then this is the tape input. I just have it hooked up to a mini plug, so you could stick it in, you could use an iPhone or any device or anything that has RCA line level output. But let me go ahead and turn on the radio. I'm trying to find something with like commercials maybe, or
Get ready to binge. It's new. This week, Disney Plus will release the 29th.
Okay, so that's on, and now we're going to go ahead and I've got the turn on here. Give it a second to warm up.
Later this year, expect more from FX's American Horror Story and Pose, as well as season 4 of Outlander. And that's New to View, streaming edition on iHeartRadio.
And then balance, let's see, on-off balance, treble, bass, and then the two inputs, tape, and tuner are the two that I'll be using, but then there's 3 inputs for phonograph that I probably won't use because I don't have that connection hooked up. And then you can switch it between mono and stereo from the function perspective, but that's it.